Hey homie, I'm not Tony, I'm Oleg. Bro, just imagine meeting guys like this at the night. I'm like Assassin's Creed Russia. Это аудитория, сука, блядь. So I wanna continue my Shotdeck walkthrough, because it was just amazing, very chill. By the way, I'm not even sure that somebody in this world even using Shotdeck, somebody even cares about this site, or it is just me. Let's try to choose most popular shots and browse through every single one of them to understand what do people like. Well, of course, there are some interesting composition, like overall direction is there, because of body, because of this guy, because of these windows shadows, and in some way we have a kinda intersection, like this direction versus this arms line. Also, like idea of the shadow is pretty cool, like we have this guy versus this shadow opposing him and mirrored. Wait a second, is it Timothée Chalamet? No. It's not Timothée Chalamet, I want Timothée Chalamet. I mean, I want to see Timothée Chalamet, I don't want him as a man. I really don't, I don't. Also, you know, this shot looks pretty balanced in terms of color, even though it feels like completely red. I don't know, I thought maybe this shadow would be more blue, more magenta, but as you can see, it is almost orange. But somehow this shadow feels cold compared to this light. Maybe it's just because this light is way too warm. I don't know, overall this shot is nice, it has the vibe, but it's not tier 1 shot for me, obviously. Alright, maybe discussing all the shots in popular category isn't that good idea. Yeah, obviously there's some nice color contrast, like we have this yellow-orange versus this blue, and pretty nice like spotlight with this roundy composition, and table in the center, and this light source with a very bright light in the center. Even though it looks kinda mysterious, maybe it is boring. It is whatever. Yeah, bro, we definitely shouldn't discuss every single shot, it is a bad idea. Again, as I said in previous video, jill all your words. Shots from this clip like everywhere on Shotdeck, and this shot is really special. It is quite something, bro. I really love red color, but it often looks bad. I guess red color is very aggressive and it's hard to balance it. And here you can see how it balances both by blue background and this green light source, and of course lens is very white, and these symbols create like nice central composition. Let's check more stuff from this clip. There's something crazy and surreal happens, but you know, even though I have problems with pink and magenta usually, here it looks pretty nice. This green is awful, of course, but I think it balances this magenta, and this one is pretty cool. Really love these colors, and color transition remind me of something like Elden Ring or Bloodborne. I love to say how I hate cyan lighting, but here versus this magenta or versus this red shadow, it works just perfectly. And also you can see it is supported, like we have cyan here and here. Also, I know there are some sweet stuff happens in this clip, like lips, octopus, pussy, octopussy. This one is also great. Like, I really love the symmetry of these circles. And of course her imagery and style and pose create some sense of being lost, being lonely, being empty in this world, in this neon world. Alright, let's move on to something else. JoJi. This is JoJi, aka Pink Guy, aka Filthy Frank. Our long-dead and our beloved Filthy Frank, bro. Of course it looks amazing in terms of colors, like a lot of blues versus these rhyming worms. And also, you know, there's some sort of rhythm, like, I don't know, these triangles, these angles somehow work. There's something in it. Perfect Days, by the way, I watched a review from Thomas Flight about this movie versus Whiplash versus some grind culture movie. Maybe I wanted to watch it, but I am not a chill person. This movie will not pierce through my grind emotional barrier. This one is great, by the way. I don't like this green versus red color palette overall, but here it works nice. Especially look at this warm reflection from his skin. Look how extremely red his eyes and his nose and lips, and this shadow in the hairs. Also, this white cigarette is the most bright element in the picture. Maybe not the brightest, but the most contrast. And yet it's supported by these highlights, so again there's some balance. And you know, there are some interesting symmetry, like nipples, eyes, and these roundy plates. And of course, you know, rhythm and symmetry of reds, again nipples, red stuff here and red face. So yeah, these shots represent very important, crucial role of Nipples in this world, in cinematography, bro. Bro, of course, this one is just genius. Maybe it is the best shot in the entire cinematography history. I don't know, it's so hilarious, and at the same time, it's kinda sad and a little bit scary and so hopeless and ironic. You know, in general, Better Call Saul just flooded with interesting cinematographic decisions and cool shots. Like, yeah, for example, this shot from the pool in this Mexican yellow color grading. Or I love how they use cast shadows in Better Call Saul and like overlap people's faces with shadows. Create a nice, deeper emotion and subtext. The same for here, by the way, and it's kinda mirroring. This is from the final season and this is from beginning, very first episode, and it's kinda rhyming the whole story. Also, you know, a lot of funny shots from toilet or from can, yeah, from trash can, as I said, or from some sort of tube or hole. Like, it is both funny and inventable and kinda represents emotional state. Like, you know, in all these shots, character becomes like small. Like, character is not some sort of hero who is staying in this huge establishing shot, but he's watching in trash can and trash can watching at him. Again, these play with a slice of light and cast shadow, very nice. And also, you know, these playful shots from something like toilet, they automatically frame the shot. Like, for example, here, this toilet automatically cut all of this space and it is easier to focus our attention on this spot. So these type of shots automatically solve composition for you. Also, of course, these iconic Better Call Saul shots with broken breathing room when our character placed somewhere like here and all this space like crushing him from the top and pressing on him. I need to find my favorite shot with broken breathing room. Yeah, this one. This is absolutely great shot. Maybe also one of the best in cinematographic history, bro. He's placed in the most uncomfortable corner of the screen and he looks in this corner and there's almost no space for him to look at. And all this air, all this wall just pressing on him. And it's even more amplified by this light. You see, even lights like pressing him from above. And it has total sense in terms of storytelling of Better Call Saul. Or this one is kinda broken too. There's too much space on the right and all this space is white and she is like black and all this space contains these even boring vertical lines and she's looking on the left and there's no enough space for her to look at and you can just look at her face. Look at her face. My little Kim Wexler. Nice spoiler, by the way, if you don't know, Howard will be fucking killed by Lalo Salamanca. Merry Christmas. Have a nice watch, bro. Better Call Saul is both unpleasant and painful to watch, because sometimes shots are very long and they boring and they empty, but at the same time, I'm not sure you will ever find a show with more illustrative shots that can amplify and convey emotions, these subtle, uncomfortable sort of emotions. Is it Sydney Sweeney again? It's again Sydney Sweeney, bro. Is she even popular? I didn't know about her until these blue jeans hype. Wow, bro, wow, that's cool. That's cool. Especially, you know, I don't know what this clip is about, but this shot kinda creates emotion that maybe this child has no future, or maybe he's from broke family, and this is nice symbol of this. Like some sort of blind eye. Like he looks and sees this kinda crack on his future. That's great idea, whatever this clip is about. This is this is like legendary shot. I've seen it a lot. Just look at this. I'm interested how this shot is supposed to be used in actual movie. How it can possibly fit in narrative.
That's why you've never finished your book. Why you'll always be a failure.
Alright, he broke the mirror. Yeah, it works perfectly, bro. It works perfectly. Wow, bro, just look at this. Just look how much space there is. But at the same time, you know, composition is a little bit painful because this mountain just almost slices this person's head. Kinda works as guiding line, but too close to his head. But overall we have this line, this line, this line, and kinda this roundy enter to the frame, and also this line kinda tilting our attention towards left. And we have color contrast almost here near our character, so yeah, it's nice composition. Oh, by the way, I love this shot. Look how dreamy and warm it is. Like some distant memory about family, woman, child. Of course, this shot from Dune became like legendary, and I've heard they didn't just turn the video in grayscale, you know, in post-production. They shoot it in specific grayscale black and white camera to achieve this milky skin tone, and it's totally worth it. By the way, this shot looks pretty good for Neon Demon. I don't like this movie, usually it feels like shit, as for me. You know, it is way too clean and way too cold, but this shot feels pleasant. And also, you know, there's like nice rhythm of characters, like big, medium, small, and it all happens in the left part of the screen, and we like boom, 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 jumping between them. Also, you know, some sort of composition inside composition. Overall, all this stuff is some square, and here's another square, and there's another square and another square, like nice rhythm. Bro, I'm interested what happens in this movie, bodies, bodies, bodies. Given that they have this girl from Acolyte and Lee Pace, I'm afraid there's fuck happens in this movie, bro. Of course, they need to kill each other. Oh, yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. I knew it. It's obvious. I don't know, but they're making TikToks about it. Nah, it is horror. I don't love horror movies. And here we have Argentina 1985. I've worked with one director, and he sent me this movie as our main reference in terms of, you know, movie timeline, movie style, movie cinematography, color usage. And it's also about Latin America, so I've watched Argentina 1985. Pretty boring movie, it doesn't evoke emotions, but overall it kinda looks good, even though I don't like colors like these, for example. And overall I don't like this old school kinda retro stylization. And alright, bro, let's wrap it up with some interesting shot that deserves our attention. Oh, this one is cool. What immediately catch my attention is this line. This reflection that matches the spine. Feels pretty creepy and scary. Also, you know, the whole shot is pretty claustrophobic and like symmetrical inside this square, inside this oval bath. And you know, I just hate bath. If you wanna make awful horror scene, just make it inside the bath. Also, you know, there's some nice balance. Here we have dark green, and it is supported by these dark green parts. Also, this warm body tone kinda supported by this stuff, and blue things are rhyming here. And it's funny how this ear, this little ear, is the most red and colorful element in the whole shot. By the way, I didn't watch Requiem for a Dream. I think I should, bro. I think it's a legendary movie. Yeah, but you know, to be honest, I'm kinda afraid to watch it, as I know it is a heavy movie. I wanted to watch something cozy. By the way, I love this shot from Killers of the Flower Moon. It is from the beginning, and indigenous people dancing in oil that coming from the ground, and it kinda has cool emotional significance, like meaning that in the start of the movie they're celebrating oil, but eventually this oil will lead to their death. And I think in this beautiful note we can end this video, bro. Thank you for being here. See ya.